joy and friends to be found. Let's talk in English. Learning together can be fun. The journey's begun. The journey's begun. Let's talk in English.
So you want me to act like your teacher?
Yes, Andrea. If we want the students to practice what they learn in each lesson, well, then we need to show them how to do it.
That's true. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk in English on PTS and the radio. My name's Andrea. My name is Miss Broderson.
Miss Broderson.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Campbell. It's great to see you again. Oh, Miss Broderson. Miss Broderson.
Oh, yes, Campbell. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can you explain our homework assignment one more time?
Yes, your homework assignment. What would that be, your homework assignment?
Keywords.
Oh, yes, of course. Your homework assignment is to learn today's key words. Now, Campbell, I'd like you to write one sentence for each key word.
Write one sentence for each key word. Okay, anything else?
Yes, I'd also like you to watch Let's Talk in English and listen for the answer to today's mission.
Today's mission? What's that?
Well, today's mission, here it is. Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again?
Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again? Okay, I got it.
All right, good job, Campbell. You're a very good student.
Well, thank you.
All right, now let's begin our lesson with Conversation A.
Okay, everyone, if you haven't already, please put your math homework on my desk. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Mrs. Black.
This is an interesting article you wrote for the school paper.
Thanks. You really like it?
Well, I'd like to talk to you about it sometime.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Mandy. I didn't mean to bump into you.
Oh, that's okay, Trina.
What's going on here? Mandy goes into her math class and sits down. The teacher tells everyone who hasn't already handed in their homework they should do that. Okay, well, that's a usual way to start class.
Then Mrs. Black talks to Mandy about the article she wrote for the school paper. She says it's an interesting article and she'd like to talk about it sometime, but she doesn't say she likes it.
And then Trina bumps into Mandy. But she doesn't sound very sorry when she says, "Oh, sorry, Mandy, I didn't mean to bump into you." Trina! Trina, that's the girl who got the biggest part in the play.
Oh, right, the principal's daughter.
Yes.
Now, where is Mandy when all this happens? Well, she's in math class. Now, let's learn this keyword.
Math. Math. Math is a class where you study about numbers and shapes.
In math class, you learn about numbers and shapes. Now, math is the short way to say mathematics. M-A-T-H-E-M-A-T-I-C-S. Now, that's a long word, so we just say math.
So, students, do you like math class? Who's your math teacher? Our next keyword here is bump into. Bump into. When you bump into something, you hit it. You can bump into a person or bump into a thing.
Right, if you bump into a person, it's nice to say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you."
Well, let's continue our lesson with Teacher Thomas.
Great article, Mandy.
Thanks, Chris. You really made Trina look bad. I love it.
Chris, please raise your hand if you want to say something.
Sorry, Mrs. Black. I was just talking to Mandy.
Next time, please wait till after class to talk to Mandy.
Yes, Mrs. Black.
Excuse me, Mrs. Black. Could you please explain that math problem again? I couldn't hear you because Chris was talking.
Sure, Trina. Okay, so...
Welcome back. So in our conversation, we found out why Trina seems to be so mad at Mandy.
Yes, a student named Chris talks to Mandy. She thinks Mandy wrote a great article. She loves that Mandy made Trina look bad.
This means that the article Mandy wrote made others think that Trina isn't so great.
I guess she decided to write how she really feels about Trina's acting.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll see what happens. First, let's learn our keyword, raise one's hand. Raise one's hand. If you raise your hand, this means you put your hand in the air.
Right, you raise your hand. You put your hand in the air. Now in class, you might raise your hand to ask your teacher a question, or raise your hand to answer a question.
Right, if you want to talk in class, the right thing to do is to raise your hand. That way your teacher knows you want to say something. Okay, we have the answer to today's mission in this conversation. Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again?
Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again? I know the answer.
Yes, Andrea?
Okay, well, because she couldn't hear the math problem because Chris was talking.
Oh, I see. All right, everyone. That's all for us. Let's learn some more from Thomas.
Hey, Mandy, what class do you have next period?
Biology?
With Mr. Thompson in room 204?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell my boyfriend.
Why?
He didn't like what you wrote about me in the paper.
I'm sorry, but what I wrote was the truth.
Well, I didn't like it either, so my boyfriend is going to do something about it.
Like what?
You'll see.
You'll see? Well, what is Trina's boyfriend going to do? Campbell, what is he going to do?
I don't know. All we know is that Trina's boyfriend didn't like what